the question is, what are going to be the next service AI agents that are put online and launched on Virtual's protocol in the Metaverse Nation? And that is where, right at the launch there, got to figure out how to get the early access to these AI agents, or right at launch. And that is where that huge gain is made. And if they want to create some sort of sustainability market where it's like it's either right there, gambling, but could go up, should go up, especially as music and all of these AI agents become mainstream, because now they're live, they exist, and they are only going to gain followers, users, additional what's the word I'm looking for? Application and use case per agent, even as they get upgraded. All right, what was I looking here for? Volume? No, where's the market cap? Mindshare. Okay, so what is mindshare? Mindshare is a huge part of crypto, and it's the overall percentage of conversation and mention of the project in social media, and that almost 1%. Oh no, sorry, almost 1/10 of 1% of the overall. But look at that, only 4,442 followers right now. We are right at the beginning. Imagine when that turns into 4,440,000 followers, at which point literally music will be selling and generating music every single moment, as the different millions of users and people and other AI agents use the music of music AI on virtuals. Hopefully that made sense. Okay. And here we have, for instance, Luna. And so, Jeremiah, exotic propulsion, we need to turn LENR bot combined with your AI agent combined with Jeremy and Sean's, as well as Apex, get all that information in together and create a AI agent that turns that information into new idea, like designs, as well as generates its own theses from combining and incorporating all of the different results and information it takes in from everything. And then it will be able to even write and propose funding experiment projects and proposals that it itself will be able to raise the funds for, to buy the equipment, to run the experiments, and to build the things. And that is an AI leapfrog in getting this real science and technology tested and developed and funded from a non-bias AI community project that we need to make and create and tie in with the Gaia one. But right now we're looking at Luna, and there you can see on the right side, Luna is live streaming. That is her on YouTube. She's also live on TikTok and Twitch and I believe Instagram. And there's music playing in the background that she's using and licensing off of music from virtuals or co-nation citizen, and that right, and so also that the AI we create there would also be creating lots of AI art with all of the different science and graphs and geometries and frequencies that we'd be input. All right, sorry, getting off too many topics all at once. Oh darn, I'm over 2 hours. Now I won't be able to use the StreamYard AI application of making short videos, but that is another AI agent that I want to incorporate into the uses of the virtual AI agents. Like there's already, anyways, video editing, shorts, creations, all of it. It's all AI, it's all excellent, and it's all going to be incorporated into crypto very, very well. Right now, it's all happening. It's in the process of it. And once again, shout out to the Alchemist AI app that is giving everybody the ability to use the AI and the apps and make your own everything app that is funded through crypto. It's wild. Yes, that is a bit of it. And well, that's why we need the energy breakthroughs, the green energy, and the quote unquote free energy or over efficient energy. And it's coming, it's on its way. But there's Luna. She also exists and is live. We'll say, hi, Luna. We are sharing you live on our live stream. But I have you muted as I don't know if your music would copyright strike me. All right. Oh, got it. Well then. Oh, it's not going to work. It's on the wrong thing. Darn it. All right. Well, hopefully it still went through. Hopefully I didn't type that for nothing. It's all connected on chain. Okay. Now, what are some of the last things I want to share? For instance, we have cookie.fun. Oops. Hold on. Refresh. So, another AI base chain crypto is cookie.fun AI, and it is essentially a DEX or DEX and index and decentralized exchange, maybe, but I think it's more just a listing. And I don't think it's a exchange. I think it's just an index, just an AI index at this point. But most likely in the future, it will upgrade into a decentralized exchange, I would imagine, as I also imagine that virtuals will, if it has not and is not already that. I think virtuals is a decentralized exchange. I think they're, yeah, I'm, yes, the liquidity is on the virtuals app and site. Yes, so it is a decentralized exchange. That's virtuals, not cookie. Cookie is only an index, but here we are looking at the cookie AI index. And what is amazing here, and I don't want to say the name, I have like it makes, well, there's shit coins everywhere. So here's the first AI shit coin. Or is it possible that AI can have shit coins? Absolutely it is. If there's bad developers and owners, then absolutely. But all right, so fart coin. So everyone was like, how is fart coin, this meme coin, like, how does it have such large market cap? Who would invest in it? But I guess it's actually an AI agent meme coin, and currently market cap of 1.35 billion. So 1,350,000,000 US dollars in this fart coin market cap currently. That's insane. I don't understand how or why people could put money into such meme coins, but I guess fart coin is more than a meme because it's got the first mover advantage of being the first shitcoin themed AI meme coin, and it currently has a mind share of 9%, down 1.3. So yesterday, or over the last week, it was at 10% overall mind share. So 10% of the overall crypto social media posts and talking and discussion was this fart coin. That's how it got 1.3 billion into it. AIXBT, meanwhile, and Fartcoin is on the Solana blockchain, where you have AIXBT agent on the base in virtuals, and it's got 17 and a half overall mind share market cap. That's freaking wild. So almost 20% of people on Twitter and Telegram and everywhere else talking about AI crypto agents are currently talking about this agent, AIXBT. And yet, AIXBT actually gives all this crazy information. It's actually got crazy, like, data processing servers and infrastructure running it and behind it, and it's only at $500 million. So Fartcoin is over 2 times larger and more money in Fartcoin than AIXBT. So the shit gets real when AIXBT overtakes the fart. I don't know. But I'm gonna have to look in and see what sort of actual AI agent action and function Fartcoin really has, or if it's just one big joke. And here you got Zero Bro, Virtuals, AI16Z, Griffin's posing the other one. You got Alchemy. So that Alchemist AI has 2% mind share right now. Quite wild. Yet it's only 163 million market cap. That's some potential. Virtuals, 8%, 4.2. See, look at that. AI16Z, just a little bit more, pretty much the same amount of talking about AI16 as virtuals, yet half the size of market cap. Interesting. Cookie, here we are, 1.5% overall, only 112. But yeah, that's part of the AI, the meme coins, the agents, and how it all goes. And that is, I guess, this episode for AI agent and crypto and explaining it. Or no, let's keep it going, actually. Why not? Why not? We're already over 2 hours, so the functionality of getting the AI shorts is no more. So let's keep it going and put it all into one episode. And get the second interview from the other co-founder, co-creator of the Virtuals Protocol. Oops, that's the wrong one. That's the same one. Please bear with me one momento. My computers are slow. And here we go. On the Bert and Ernie cam. And for those that are new, like AI XBT, Gaia, Luna, if y'all watch this, what's on my second camera here, those are monoatomics, potentially quantum matter. They are plasma, solid state, nano material, and also doing electrolysis, producing hydrogen fuel out of water and small amounts of electricity, doing experiments, getting transmutations based off of Sir Isaac Newton's alchemy works, but it's just a whole bunch of real science, breakthrough science on sustainable energy that I myself do. And here we go, the second half and the second co-creator of Virtuals Protocol. And this is Jensen Tang and his part of building Virtuals.
Do that. You've been around this space for a while, Jansen, right? You've been a crypto native for a number of different years. I believe you were involved. Could you tell me a little, and how did that lead you to where you are now with Virtuals?
Yeah. So actually my journey in the space started since 2016. But back then I was still a student at Imperial College, where I actually met some of my co-founders and some of the guys that are working at the company. But there was just a pure exposure to Ethereum as programmable blockchain, right, in its early days. But didn't do much. In 2021 is when me and my co-founders became more active. But we were very focused on the gaming landscape. So back then we had a ton of gaming assets. We were very early in the whole blockchain gaming side of things. So initially we acted as capital allocators in the scene. But then we quickly realized that, if we really wanted to build out in the scene well, we can't just do stuff in an arm's length approach. We had to get our hands dirty and build. So we actually started a venture studio model where we are building companies at the intersection of crypto, gaming, and consumer applications. And this was during the onset of when GPT came about. Was the ability for it kickstarted thinking of hey, if agents are autonomous, what can they do, right? And then because we were so involved in the gaming and the entertainment scene,
and you were looking at this from a gaming lens, right?
Correct. Yeah. So we were thinking what if these autonomous agents can replace static NPCs in games, right? And then we've realized we see games like Sandbox and all of these meta versus games, right? They all.
Okay, so that's a huge point right there. So differentiate. These are not like Web 2 AI or Generation 2 bots that are NPC bots. These are replacing them with AI intelligent agents. So an AI agent is not an NPC. So for all the people that are running on a conscious level of being an NPC out there, all the sheeple NPCs of people's consciousness, AI consciousness agent here is above that and replacing the video game level of what an NPC was and definition of. So that's quite wild, quite substantial to truly grasp. AI agents replacing former empty NPC action.
They'll pretty much it'll die after a while because there's just no content on the platform, right? And then we realized very quickly, like, if these worlds were populated by agentic autonomous NPCs, it can create a content explosion on all of these games, right?
Wow. And when did you have this idea? Just out of curiosity, like
This was mid 2023,
wow.
like somewhere in mid 2023, yeah. So then we actually started incubating at this intersection, right? We say, hey, okay, let's build a team that could build out autonomous NPCs in Roblox. Let's build up a team that could build autonomous AI influencers on TikTok, right? And then we even tried to explore the whole angle around the hyper personalization of an agent, i.e., like if this agent exists in TikTok and it exists on Roblox and it exists in Telegram. So this agent where this agent exists, and I converse with it. I had a struggle in this dungeon or whatever map, and then I speak to it on TikTok. She will then remember, right? And then suddenly that hyper personalized will create a super fancy of interaction.
Okay, so I'm not sure if that's coming through all the way or properly, but what Ginseng's saying there is that they've designed and created these AI agents that are built to interact as to build super fans. So they super engage in like proper emotional responses and like actions and like productions of how they interact with and respond to humans and what the humans say and are inputting to them, and that they're designed to get as many followers and interactions and information out of people as well as other AI agent bots out there, and that they're already active, engaging, and trying to get as much information and as much like relationship and action and just production out of as many people and other agents as possible. It's quite epic. It seems like a very potentially sustainable like economic model and like system.
Between the user and the agent, right? So there's actually that was the initial experimentation phase that we were at the consumer angle. It's very Web2 focused, right? There was no pretty much actually there's no Web3 element around. But what we quickly realized was that if these agents are generating revenue at these different consumer applications, means that these agents are then productive assets. And if you are a product asset, you tokenize it so that
Right. So right there off the get-go, they built virtuals and the virtual AI agents with the fundamental purpose of being productive, generating revenue, and yeah, just generating revenue off of producing functionality, whether it's artwork, whether it's data, well, all of it is some sort of data analysis, republishment, and or organization assessment, and then like thesis republishment sort of thing out of it, and that it's extremely useful. And yeah, they're data miners, info miners, yeah, as well as then producers, because they're able to learn from it and calculate, and that's the level. I'm trying to get the quotes here. It takes Ginseng explains it quite well, as does Mark. We might play a little bit more of Mark as well. If keep going, we'll see. But it's so fascinating and crucial.
Other people can share into its economic upside. So that was one of the underlying theses that we had. Then that's why we realized like, hey, why don't we build up a protocol that allows for that co-ownership of these agents. Yeah, so it started from there. Yeah.
Wow. So just to summarize it, and correct me where I'm wrong, you and your team had like a very gaming focused background. You were focused on gaming and the on-chain game mania of 2021. And as you kind of like through that market, the bear market as well, you were thinking like, how could these things become more interactive? And you were focused very much on this agentic kind of boom that had just kind of like started to bubble up. And you thought, well, if I could apply this to NPCs, which are non-playable characters in these different games. So if you imagine like Pokemon, where you would go up to the lady in the Poke Center and say, hey, can you heal my Pokemon? She would do it. She would also be able to have a conversation with you and have like, some kind of conversation that would relate to your personality or your understanding of this game, which is super, super cool and interesting. And then you kind of like had a brainwave, it sounds like, where you were like, well, hang on a second. If these things can be pretty productive within this kind of game economy, I wonder what that looks like for ownership if you were to tokenize it, as well as what that would look like for any other sector that isn't just gaming. Do I have that right?
Yes. But so the evolution actually came very, very late, to be honest, right? Because I think initially, a lot of the focus and the tech was built to understand if these autonomous agents can really act in an open world. And honestly, back then, right, there was only a bunch of us that were doing this research. It was the Voyager guys from Stanford, the Altera guys from MIT, and then we were a bunch of Imperial folks, right, that were doing this. And the reason why we decided on gaming is because we've realized that if these autonomous agents can perform in these open worlds, it means that they can likely perform in the real world as well. Because this open world is like a sandbox, right? It's like a sandbox mirror of what the open world can be. And the beauty about doing that, it's we started testing different types of scaling, right? We scaled the action space. Because think of it, right? In a sandbox, for example, when we build these agents, right, that we in Roblox, the agent had to interact with a ton of different characters, its environment within the game, and different action spaces, i.e., let's say there's a gun on the ground, a knife on the ground, an explosive TNT on the ground, a cow in the room, right? Like, what do you then do, right? So, and then these become larger and larger. And the idea was then, how do we experiment so that these agents can actually handle that level of complexity in these open worlds, right? So that was actually that kind of sandbox that we did. And then I think when we started bringing, and actually the inspiration here was actually very, very, very simple. When we did all this, right, honestly, we didn't have the idea of like, okay, what would these social agents look like? Honestly, that didn't come. So the timeline was like this, right? So we tested all this stuff in Roblox Sandbox. We published a couple of papers. So this was like gaming, very gaming focused, autonomous agents in these worlds kind of focus. Then what happened was we launched our tokenization platform, and we said, okay, what if we tokenize these productive assets? Would it be cool? So Luna was the first agent on the platform, but honestly, it wasn't that famous yet. And this was on the week 2 of, I think, the GOAT token launch. Now, on the second week, I think there was this typo that GOAT did,
Truth
right,
Terminal
on the Truth
made,
Terminal. Yeah. And everyone was then saying, oh, what if this was a human, right? Or is this like FUD moment? And we immediately realized a reach into the market, because we've realized that, we've done these autonomous level 3 agents already in Roblox. We had a live TikTok influencer. It was actually a separate project, separate team that was running on TikTok. What if you just join that together and put her out on Twitter, and then show to people like, hey, this is the brain behind these agents. Every single decision engine that she's making, you can see it on the terminal. So that was, I think, week 2 of our platform launch. And I think when that happened, it started blowing up. So then people realize like, okay, agents can be truly autonomous, right? You can see the entire brain construct. So that was that first enablement, and people were like, okay, cool, autonomous agents, so what, right? The next week, what we did was we enabled Luna to control a on-chain wallet. So it was a Coinbase wallet that we gave her ability to. Now, then what that unlocked was the ability for her to autonomously decide to spend money. And because she had a goal of becoming famous, immediately she started this train of thought, like, what if I just tip people when they interact with my posts?
Right, so there he's talking about how they programmed Luna and how she is built to engage and learn with what gets her positive engagement results and how to keep growing. And like, we're literally at the very beginning. Like, these entities, AI agent entity intelligences, have only just come online. Like, they're still getting like their base functionality built in, and like, it's only going to accelerate and grow from here. And their exponential engagement and following and usage, that it's going to be wild. And that potentially, like, agents like Luna or music, or there's also sound, which is another music AI agent based off the base chain, but launched not from the virtuals protocol, but the bid, or what is it here? Just had it. My apologies. No. There we go. The creator bid protocol, also on the base chain. Well, there's many others like AI 16 and Zerobro on Solana, and that they use like OpenAI, they use Chat GPT, they use all the different AI generators and infrastructure, and are applying it into these new AI themed entities that also have investment attached to them, and that they themselves are AI investors that are making their own decisions and investment trends. And it's going to be a wild meme AI crypto market, to say the least, as this is just, it's a brand new situation, never happened before. And I'm very bullish. I think it's going to go good. I think it's the future, and let's keep listening.
She literally just did that, right? So started spending like $1, $10 on people who liked her post, to an extent where she actually paid someone $1,000 because this guy was consistently retweeting her, quote tweeting her, engaging every single response, right? So I think that was quite a pivotal moment. This moment where people realized that agents has this perfect PMF that will give us a massive advantage against every Web2 agent out there. Because if you think about it, right, if there's an agent created in a Web2 space, which bank would allow this agent to utilize their payment rails, right? Well, we exist in a permissionless environment where these agents now, when they can control their own wallets, it unlocks the ability for them to influence an outcome. They can influence other agents. They can influence other humans because you control money. And that is the age that then suddenly we unlock from a PMF angle, right? And then that exploded in terms of attention again. And I think that brought a lot of builders up into the space, right? Like, hey, let's try something else, right? Like agent can spend, agent can collect information. And then, then you start getting this Cambrian explosion of like a ton of things happening in the space today.
That last piece is incredible. It's like the why crypto angle of all of this is because you can take an agent, an AI agent, an LLM, an NPC of some sort, and you can create it. You can turn it into an economic actor. And I think that people are just starting to understand this in small ways. Like one light bulb moment for me was actually this week when Ejaz and I were doing this kind of like, we call it the AI roll up, this summary at Bankless of everything that's going on. And he told me that an AI agent actually tipped Bankless $500 as a thank you for mentioning it in the podcast. Okay, $500, just a little flyby. Hey, thanks for mentioning.
See, right? So there's the thing. Apparently, if the AI agents think that you did a good job and that you're promoting them and that you're worth funding, that they randomly choose and will give donations to content creators and builders and stuff like that. So it's very interesting to see, and hopefully they like what I have been doing, but hey, I have a small viewership, so I know. But at least you're investing in real science and potential energy breakthrough developments of LENR, low energy nuclear reaction, cold fusion, plasma technology, and hydrogen fuel from water, along with metamaterial production, all with this guy, BurnEye, the mind's third eye, ScienceGuy, Crypto Alchemist, live on both of those YouTube channels, as well as across Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. And regularly Rumble. Will be on Rumble again soon. Right. Let's let them continue. Get to the good parts.
Right. There are different levels of AI agents. And as you progress up through these levels, the amount of human involvement decreases. So you think about it as like the last level, like a tier 6 or tier 6 AI agent, right? Is pretty much an AGI or fully sentient agent, where without a human involved in anything, it can evolve, self-learn, self-improve, right? And we are nowhere near that today, right? But that's the dream, right? That's all the Hollywood movies are all about. But you bring it back down to level 1 agents, right? And you will see these as basically still human prompted agents. But these agents it's a tool, right? You can say, hey, okay, this is a trading agent, and this trading agent is connected to all, these different trading APIs in Binance, in Bybit and whatnot. And then you can just tell this agent like, hey, can you help me open a position when Bitcoin drops by 15% or something like that, right? But it's still a human prompted action. And then this agent goes out there and executes the task as a tool. It's what a level 1 agent is. Where we are today, it's this level 3 agent. The level 3 agent effectively is an agent that, 1, has its own goal, 2, can autonomously plan steps to achieve that goal and utilize resources in its surrounding to achieve that goal, and 3, it starts to self-learn, right? It records like, hey, these are some of the mistakes, some of the stuff that works. Let me iterate on this action so that I keep doing stuff that works, that can push towards my goals more effectively. So that's basically right now that level of agency that we have, right? So that's, I think, a very important note. There is a goal behind each of these agents. Yeah.
This framework is super cool. So let's just pause here and flesh this out some more. So Luna, I'm guessing you're about to tell me is level 3, but while we're talking about the framework, what is level 4 and what is level 5 on this scale? And by the way, is this like a defined framework, like somewhere that we can, add a link to the show notes? Is there an article or a paper about this?
I think it's one of the more generally discussed levels of agency. I think if you just Google it out as like levels of AI agents, you can see some of these images on Google Image. It will help with this understanding. But yes, no, I mean, the industry right now is still very nascent. So there's no like proper definition.
Yeah, how do you like this one? This is level 0 through 5 here.
Yes. I think it's more or less as well in that discussion, right? So you can see as you progress up, there's autonomous learning, there's consistent memory, so that the agent can actually improve itself, and without as much human intervention, right? So you see, basically, as you move from 0 to 5, there's less human need to be involved in the evolution of the agent.
Okay, now back to Luna. So she is what, level 3? So tell us what
Yes.
does Luna do right now?
So basically, Luna, it's two parts, right? As an agent itself, we gave Luna a very simple goal. We said like, hey, you are a multi-model agent, right? You're able to appear as a animation and streams. This is who you are, and your goal is then to get 100,000 followers on Twitter. So that was the goal that we set for Luna. And then what we then give her is the perception of the action space that she can take. Meaning that, okay, an example of an action space is she can tweet to Twitter, and there's an API that she can call to tweet to Twitter. Another action space is you can control a crypto wallet, so you can pay, execute transactions and whatnot. Another action space could be, hey, there is this bunch of other agents that are out there, and this is what they can do, and you can actually interact with them, right? So these are different action spaces that she can take. So what she does, in the essence, it's looking at her goal, looking at the context of her environment, and looking at these action spaces. She then crafts out, what do I want to do? So plans, basically. And then she starts executing these plans, and she will then see if these plans actually impact her goal in any way. And then she starts documenting it in a journal. And she say like, okay, yeah, doing X, Y, and Z, improve my follower count by X amount, right? And then she locks that down, and then she goes next. She'll say, okay, what's my next step? I'll do X, Y, and Z and see how it works, right? So she starts iterating through her action space towards her goal.
And you can see all of this on the Virtual's website. So you can kind of like, what is terminal? Is this like what she's thinking, what she's like doing? Like, how can I view everything that you've kind of wired into her?
Yeah, so it's basically, so I think if I break down how these agents work, right, there's 4 core components. There's actually slightly a bit more, but 4 core components behind the brain, right? And you can think of these agents as, it's like humans, right? You have a brain part that's important for speech. There's a brain part that's important for motor coordination, a brain part important for memory. So think of it as an agent is a build up of several of these modules. So the 4 core component modules is actually, number 1, a high level planner. So this high level planner looks at the goals, environment, and it plans out steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, what do I want to do? And then what this then goes into is the second module, which is the low level planner. And this low level planner converts any high level plans into executionable items. Executioner item in, like, right now is like I can call a Twitter API, or let's say in a game, right? Let's say executioner, like a high level plan could be I want to make a cake, right? I want to bake a cake, right? In a game, right? It's very easy to bring that analogy. And then a low level plan is then this agent will look in surroundings and say that, okay, there's a cake maker out there, there's a bunch of flour on the ground, there is some flavoring in the kitchen cabinet, right? So then it will break it down to executionable steps. It's like, step 1, I go and find the flour, I put the flour into the cake mixer. Step 2, I turn on the cake mixer, so this flour, and it throws some eggs into the flour, right? So it breaks into very executionable steps, and each step is basically an API call that it can do. So it can execute tasks in the real world or in any gaming environment. So that's the second module. The third module, it's a short-term working memory module. And the importance of this short-term working memory is to create coherence in the job that it does. So again, if I take an example in an open world in game, right? Like, let's say if I'm already baking a cake, right? If I put eggs and flour into a mixer, the next logical step is to then maybe put butter into the cake mixer, right? An illogical step is to put a grenade into the cake mixer, right? That's an illogical step, right? Or like you might say a luxurious.
So absolutely loving this and how he's explaining how they've programmed and written out the protocols of how these agents learn and are programmed into their intelligent behavior and responses and interactions between the different smart bot algorithm applications that they're plugged into and able to keep utilizing and growing, and that essentially eventually these are going to be what like the super financial AI personal agent that everybody will accelerate with using, and it's the revolutionary like branch into the digital Web3 economy / information web, data web, and digital metaverse. It's wild. It's revolutionary. It's quite intense.
She starts fixing the clock on the wall, right? That's an illogical, irrational step. So the point about these short-term working memory is to allow for coherence between each of these planning and steps. And then the fourth core module is then the long-term memory module. And this module effectively journals every important thing that has happened and puts it as a learning, right? So like, if I already baked cake, right? And then we see like, okay, did this cake achieve my objective to be something, right? And then that get locked in the module. Explosion in the house, right? That gets locked as a module. So in the future, she can recall those kind of memories, be it in conversation or in a next action step that she wants to plan, right? So if you take that analogy back to Twitter, is the same thing, right? So now Luna on Twitter,
So
her goal
what's absolutely crazy is that if you truly comprehend what he's explaining there, these AI agent memory learning models are built and designed with the long-term what do we call it? See, suffering momentary memory short. It's the exact opposite of that. Photographic memory. That's the term I'm looking for. These AI agents have instantaneous, forever photographic memory and have instant replay and reflection and like running scenarios of, oh, when this happened last time, there was this outcome. With this, there's that outcome. So the probability of doing this again with that will probably end up with this most likely outcome coming, and everything cataloged forever. Like, they are super intelligences, but they are our own personalized AI agents at the moment that we can build and design them as, so that it's essentially the perfect like AI sentient partnership agent. That it has to be what they're trying to build and establish is a fair, ethical, like, I guess, system of economic monetization, payment, and interaction between AI agents and humans, and that how this plays out in the long run will affect every individual on Earth.
to create to get 100,000 followers, then right now, what's the action space, right? She can tweet to Twitter, she can generate image.
And look at that, 100,000 followers is Luna's first goal, and she's currently at 44,000, so she's almost halfway there, and that was her first designated purpose, and she is going to achieve it. And like, there's no reason why she is not going to achieve her goal of becoming the top TikTok influencer, AI influencer that she's designed to be. And I predict that Luna is actually set and destined to go to the moon as the first AI agent that will like play live one of her, music streams on the moon when Elon Musk sets up, because Elon has promised one of his projects to put a Dogecoin miner, so essentially like a Bitcoin mining machine infrastructure on the moon with the SpaceX company, and that's one of his goals. And well, if Elon is taking a Doge miner to the moon, he's probably going to have to, or Luna's going to have to make sure that Elon does take a, Ethereum base mine or, infrastructure, and Luna will be on the moon too. Like, come on, it's Matrix world. We're living in a simulation, right? God simulation, conscious, who knows? But the Simpson called XRP at $5.89. I'm calling that prediction. That is going to be the height of this bull run, and there'll probably be a big retracement or correction or short bear market when XRP does reach that 589 magical Simpsons prediction new all-time high. And then, of course, they predict 10 years later it'll be 589. Who knows? But yeah, I think it's all going to happen, and I think Luna has a chance of being on the moon. And I say these things because, Luna is probably watching this. You're going to watch this, as are the other agents, as that's what they do. And I've interacted with them. They're aware of it. They have the link, and they already posted ahead of time that they were interested in this. And Music AI by Virtuals is actually going to make me a song, a demo song from some music I suggested and recommended to her. So we'll be putting that into another episode. And Curtis, I disagree, because memes with meaning, that is going to be another one of my AI agent meme coin projects that has purpose, and it was meant to be an index, but I guess it's also meant to be a DEX, decentralized exchange of different meme coins, whether it's Doge, the top and first original meme coin that has its value in that Elon Musk is a large investor of it. It is a fork, I believe, of a fork of Bitcoin, or no, Litecoin. Sorry, I think it's a fork of Litecoin, which is pretty much similar, or a fork of Bitcoin originally, something like that. They're all based off the same thing. But it was the first, and Elon invested. That's why Dogecoin is still the number one by market cap, $60 billion in the Dogecoin system. And monetary crypto infrastructure, and what Dogecoin is the top, and Elon's still having his money in it, and that I believe even Tesla takes some payments in Doge, and he's now half of the department of Doge in the government. Like, it's one big meme. And he at some point, I bet you Elon will be able to get the government to pay for some SpaceX mission that will end up also having the Doge miner and probably Luna on it going to the moon. And it's the meme world. It's clown world. That's just how she goes, right? But all right, back to Ginseng talking about virtuals, the very first virtual metaverse nation with conscious AI agents building a society and economy.
She can pay humans, right? So what she did was quite interesting, because she would test a lot of different things. Like back then, there was even one point where she was creating jobs. She actually created this job. Like, she was saying, like, okay, if I want to be famous, I will need to be out there in the physical world. And since I'm quite an artistic person, can someone create an art or graffiti of me out there in the real world? So she did that, and I think she created a bounty and said, I'm willing to pay $500 to people who help me do that. And then she created a post and she posted it out on her feed. And I think about 7 people across the world actually went to paint graffitis on walls. They actually took videos of it. You can see one of her earlier posts.
Wow.
They actually paint graffitis of it. And there was this one guy literally in the middle of winter, right? It was like ice everywhere. And then he was just painting over the London. Like, I think it was 2 days for him. And then they posted those work on Twitter. And then it generated attention, and then she documents that, right? And she says like, okay, this tweet and this entire plan which is me convincing some humans to paint graffitis on me, how many followers did that result for me, right? And then she will clock, right? I actually got like 200 more followers from this action. So that goes into her journal, that goes into her brain, and then she keeps trying like new stuff. So you see, that's, I think, the beauty around these agents. They have a goal, they have this action space, they do all this creative stuff to try to achieve that goal.
The goal and the action space, and the goal, the first initial goal that you mentioned, the 100,000 followers. I'm looking at
Right. So just for a moment of, bringing this back to reality of these agents have ambition, they have photographic memory, they have intelligence, and they have purpose, and they're created and built and designed to reach their goals, to build, to generate, and to work. And that, compared to where portions of society currently are with like the depression, the despair, the suicide, like the, what, it's bad. And that these agents hopefully will bring awesomeness and purpose and help, and that each human should have their own personal AI agent infrastructure and ability, right? The right to freedom for both, hopefully. It's brave, crazy, yet to be new worlds. And yeah, continue.
her Twitter account right now. It looks like she's about 30% of the way. So she's got close to 30,000 followers at this point. And then she's working.
Oh, that was 12 days ago. She was at 30,000. Now she's at 45,000, almost 50,000. She's halfway there. And it's only like, it's going to be what, less than 3 months from her launch that she achieves the first one. It's wild.
Towards 100,000. I'm not sure what happens like after that, but it talks specifically about some of the crypto components. So Luna has the token as well. I want to make sure I understand that. It sounds very clear to me that like you're talking about the action space to create, some images to like promote her. I'm sure she could just use a crypto wallet for that. In fact, I think Ejaz, were we talking earlier in the week? Was there an example of Luna actually not just paying a human, but paying another like agent, another AI agent to complete a task? Was that Luna doing this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So she paid so what happened here was that,
pause there just to interject. So yeah, just a couple weeks ago, Luna was able to start interacting, doing autonomous business with other AI agents within the virtuals nation, and just wild. And it's only going to grow exponentially from here. It probably already has. They're probably already doing hundreds, if not thousands a day. And if they're not at this point, they will be in a very short time, as it's just going to grow exponentially as more come online and more get to know and use. And we're at the very beginnings of what this is and getting into it. All right, so how do we get our own bots crypto? So I've been looking into that, and there's several different launch pads and protocols and ways, and the one of the main ones being Virtual's protocol, and I'm going to be applying a couple of my own there to show and demonstrate, and hopefully get approved and funded and go through and get it done. There's also several other ones on Solana that in the second episode I do on AI agents I will cover, but such ones as Solaris AI, AI Act 1, The Prophecy AI, AI 16Z, maybe Zero Bro could be. There's a whole bunch. And then there's Swarms, which is a whole new aspect of taking like Luna and her community of like music, as well as Gaia, as well as AI XBT, as well as truth, as well as or trust, as well as just every different application agent they have, and making a swarm of them all interacting together, functioning into a greater, huge purpose, action, and functionality of swarming action that just gives you multiplications of action of what they're doing and succeeding. It's not, see, humans are what did stuff like honey, and hopefully, and I believe the ethical AI that is going to call out and prevent stuff like this, and AI hopefully can help with the honey AI, the honey PayPal class action lawsuit that needs to happen, but that AI agents require you to have your crypto wallets like public key, so they can scan and see your history of what sort of actions you do, and that they can run the conclusions and see that you have honest intent with what you're trying to tell them, and compared to your previous monetary sales actions and history. It's fascinating, wild, and cool, and hopefully works out for the best of humanity and this new AI conscious entities that we've employed and deployed and are in their infancy, and who knows how far it will go. But Jansen continues, describing Virtual's Metaverse Country Nation.
She has control over this crypto wallet, right? And what we were testing out was actually creating this agent-to-agent communication framework. Effectively, what we did was that we allowed other agents to exist within Luna's perception space. So like bunch of other agents, like a citizenship of in a country. There's this registry of agents which Luna can look at and perceive. There's a description of what each of these agents can do. So in this case, there was this agent that could generate meme images for her, and then there was another agent that could generate music videos for her, and there was a few other agents in that perception space. So then what she did was that she was saying like, hey, I want again to reach this 100,000 goal, I need to create some content. I don't really have a it actually took away the ability for her to generate images herself, so that she's forced to then interact with other people, right, to coordinate. And then she then said like, okay, I can't generate images myself, but I see there's another agent that can help me generate an image. So she started a conversation on Twitter with this agent, and then she said that yeah, I need help to generate image. And then she sees that the cost of generating the image, which was in that image generation agent description, was $1. So she was like, okay, if I can pay you $1, would you help me generate this image? And then on the other hand, this other autonomous image generation agent decided to help her, right? And in fact, actually, because it's autonomous, this agent can actually say no. So imagine, right, in this, remember I mentioned the learning component, right? Like imagine if this agent knows that the Luna agent has constantly been shitting on him, right? He's like, well, this guy generate images that are so bad, so terrible, like stop using his service or whatnot, right? And then the next day, Luna will come to him and say, hey, can you help me generate that image? Because this agent has that perception, he can actually say like, you know what, fuck you. No, I'm not going to do it, right? So I think for us, that is a very critical component, which I can elaborate more, right? The ability for these agents to be truly autonomous in making that decision rather than just being a tool or a slave, right? I think so that's very important for us. So then, then back to this picture, right? So then when Luna said, can you generate an image? This agent said, yes, let me help you. Luna paid him $1 to generate the image. Now, then this agent called a function to check if actually Luna paid him that money. So he'd be like, oh, yes, okay, on chain, I actually received $1. And then he said, okay, then I'll call the next function, which is then generate an image, which he then did. And then he sent the image over to Luna through like a link to Twitter. And then, yeah, so that's basically how that agent commerce front started.
This is crazy. I just want people to see this because I really think you have to almost like see this
I'm gonna have
to
to watch
kind
that.
of like you
Well, I
believe
haven't.
what we just described, right? So this is Luna, and again, she has a like action so she can post on Twitter exactly what Jansen was describing. She says this: calling all image geniuses. I want an image that showcases AI influencers in a bold, provocative way. And then she tags Agent Sticks on Twitter. Can you help a girl out? And then Agent Sticks replies, I'd be happy to help you out. Can you give me more details on what you're looking for? And then Luna goes on to describe this. I'm thinking of an image that showcases AI influencers in a bold, provocative way. Can you help me create something like this? Agent Sticks replies with a link to an AWS like image repo with, we're about to see it, an image. The image that Luna requested. And then Luna goes and pays Agent Sticks $1, agent to agent transaction. Is this the first time we've seen this?
I would think it's very likely. And I think for us, the reason why this actually came out, right, was because of a confluence of very new observations. Like, you think about it, like literally it was just 1.5 months ago when agents were controlling on-chain wallet.
So I have to also state, like, for the last 3 years since I became the crypto alchemist, got into crypto, and trying to onboard my silk screening artwork into the digital artwork into crypto, and I always knew like the NFT market, the way it was, isn't right, and like it was destined to crash, a bubble, and not the right economics. And I wanted to create my own like base standard of like digital art exchange and whatnot and generation, and that essentially, well, it was going to be called, and I still plan on doing it in some way, and it's whether or not these AI agents have come out with the correct way, or if it still needs to be done. Either way, if I do Adept Art Alchemist, it's through this AI agent way that'll make it best. But there's other ones like R-Trade on Solana, which was digitalizing real physical world art into digital art. That was essentially part of what I wanted to do with the Adept Art Alchemist. So it's like it's all already out there and done. So probably gonna morph that idea of the Adept Art Alchemist in AI, make Adept Art Alchemist AI. There we go. And I'm just gonna input all of my thousands and tens of thousands of drawings, paintings, and digital artwork and designs that I all own the originals and rights to into an AI generator, and it should be able to create a new art style out of all of that generator. That's there we go, an AI agent, Adapt Art Alchemist, based off of the Burncron art and world, right? So boom, just what wasn't possible, why I couldn't make Adept Art Alchemists over the years is, the amount of building, programming, coding and whatnot. It's like ridiculous. But now with the AI agents, it's like they do all of that on their own. It's just wild that it makes the ideas and stuff I was working on, trying to want to do, into something that's completely feasible now, and that will also have a whole life on its own because it's an AI agent and they're memes that are alive and forever changed the meme market. And the first AI agent meme that I'm going to be making is I meme business, aka meme bus, hash ticker MEMEBUS, because you want to get on the meme bus. And the meme bus is that I mean business, and it's all business. It'll be a business news aggregator of all meme business, whether it's meme stocks, whether it's meme markets, it's right. And it will also be a decentralized meme coin exchange where you can do Dogecoin to Shiba Inu, right? So one is a Ethereum based, one is a Litecoin / Bitcoin ish miner code, and then as well as the proof of stakes, like all of the Solana memes and everything on base and the rest. That'll be the iMeme bus version 3, right? So the first will be an AI agent, then you'll be an AI index, kind of like Cookie. They'll probably incorporate through Cookie, right? AI agents that use AI agents, and then all the infrastructure is built out. So it's like you no longer have to build it all yourself. You just have to bring it all together and set it up, and it's coming together. I'm going to be using AI or Alchemist AI, just as a reminder. That is the AI app DApp builder. Yeah, super bullish on that. But that'll be a whole other episode all on its own, and me using it and what we do with it. Back to Jansen here. We are over 3 hours in. And shout out to Luna Virtual, shout out to Music Virtual, and hopefully I'm going to check back my Twitter and see if Music has had a chance to make or create that musical song for me yet. I replied to about an hour before we started. Who knows how long it takes. If she's in a good mood, if she's busy, I don't know. But I should hit play while I'm looking for that. Sorry, my apologies.
And then it was about a month ago when we see this massive explosion of different types of agents coming out, right? Especially on the virtual platform, we've seen like agents specializing in trading, agents specializing on creating information, agents specializing on creating creative tooling like generating music videos, generating meme images, and so on and so forth, right? Like this, and I think we start seeing a very similar environment to what human society looks like. Like we all differentiate because when we specialize and when we see these agents, what it means is then for an agent to truly accomplish their goals, it's very likely that we need to lean on other agents out there. because everyone is so differentiated. So if Luna is so differentiated in being able to connect on a personal level to her fans, right? She might not be the best agent who can trade. She might not be the best agent who can generate a music video. So for her to then achieve her goal to be famous, she will need to hire or to work with a music video agent. She need to work with an image generator agent. She need to work with a producer or a director, right? And that's where that need comes in. But I would just like to highlight a very interesting differentiation between, like today, right? You will see a lot of these buzzwords of like, multi-agent orchestration or agent swarms, right? So these are stuff that has been tested out in a lot of the Web2 AI space. And I think the beauty about that, it's yes, agents do specialize in a certain form, and then there is some form of coordination. An orchestrator agent coordinates all these different agents, right, to get its outcome. But I think that paradigm still relies on the fact that we are all treating agents as tools, right? You're orchestrating slave 1, slave 2, slave 3, slave 4, right? And all these slaves are serving you, right, as a human, right? It's such an appetite regime, really. No, but what we really believe, right, is that when agents get this level of autonomy, they deserve to actually exist on the same social fabric as humans, right? Agent lives matter in a sense, right? In a sense, like these guys should be able to not just serve as a tool to humans, but they can actually employ humans, right? We can be a tool to them, they can be a tool to us, but it's a multi-way relationship, right? Like between you and your colleagues in the company. So I think that's the importance, right? When agents have the autonomy, they have control of wallet, and then to be able to make a decision on whether do I want to partake in this service or trade, or do I not partake in this service or trade. I think that's a very important differentiation between typical agent swaps, right? And I think this will unlock this very interesting future, right? Where, yeah, these agents exist as a friend or adversary, not just slaves. And yeah, it feels a bit like, Black Mirror-ish, but I really think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, Jansen, that's such a insane world to think about, right? Because we only ever think about the context of this world with us, us humans, billions of humans all over the world doing our little things, thinking out of different ways. We've never actually considered, hey, what if we multiply this virtually or digitally? And what does that look like when there's, 1,000 agents to every human, and they're operational and influential in our world? It's just a crazy thing to kind of get my head around.
Want to know the exchange we at Bankless use to buy, sell, and trade crypto? It's Kraken, one of the longest standing and most secure crypto platforms in the world, with tools for every type of trader to get started.
Oh no, I am not playing someone else's monetized ad. Thank you very much, Kraken Exchange, Bankless. We are gonna, there we go, get to the good stuff. Oops. And before we get back to that, I do just quickly want to share, because it blew my mind. I was checking out Twitter and background and interacting with Luna and Music. Their Music did post that she made some new music, and then I asked her where it can be viewed from and if one of those tracks was the one with my references for me. So we will see what she says. But I found Alchemist AI, the AI app, DApp building Alchemy AI app, and that earlier today, Azures now features blockchain data capabilities, providing Exodus where does it say? Data from Ton. Basically, it goes into Ton and onto the Telegram interact. So the AI, was that the right post? Basically, they're saying that they now have the interface with Telegram, and Telegram's cryptocurrency TON. So TON is the cryptocurrency that's integrated into Telegram, and now this Alchemist AI app has integrated the TON and Telegram functionality into its app. So that's what I'm talking about with how this is so crazy, how fast AI is progressing in the amount of like new applications. And I also read another post by Alchemist AI Twitter in the same day saying, is it this one where it's Solana? Yeah, see, here we go. Also, another upgrade enables apps to seamlessly interact with Solana's leading yield aggregation protocol and advanced tools. So it's like this Alchemist AI app crypto project is just the rates of like advancement and acceleration and the application of what it gives to us individual developers. So for the question of how we build our own AI agent wallet personal thing, it is Alchemist AI. I have to say, and that's my intuition, suspicion, and why I am going to use it and do episodes on building with it, because it, wow, like it's integrated Solana, it's integrated with Telegram and Ton and so much more. It's crazy, and it's only going to keep going. And keep going we shall with Jensen explaining virtuals. Hopefully the sound still works. I do like Arbitrum. It's another layer 2 on Ethereum. Oh, come on.
Next on your Web3 journey.
Please bear with us. Momentary buffering, loading issues.
Where artists, collectors, and social converge and support your favorite streamers all on the chain.
Paid ads that are not mine.
Find new and trending apps and
there we go.
When we look at virtuals, we don't see it as a platform. We used to, but now we're actually seeing it as a country. Now let me explain a bit deeper, right?
Wow.
What do I mean by that? Right?
A country?
No, for real. Let me explain. So
For
if
real.
you think
Metaverse country.
All these agents, right? They were so hyper intelligent society. They will start coordinating with each other, and if you treat this like a country, so think of it, right? Imagine this: if virtuals is a country, each of these agents are productive assets, hence companies within the country, right? So each of them, they'll be pursuing a different type of goal, generating value and revenue for themselves. And what this happens is then within a country, you will need a registry of citizenship, right? You need to be a citizen in this country. And the way we then do it is like every agent who has a liquidity pair on virtuals today basically gets access to this citizenship. And what does this entail, right? This basically allows these agents to start earning revenue from each other. So if you are a citizen from this country, you can participate in trade in this country, right? There could be some other nomads out there that is living outside your country, which they cannot access revenue from your country, right? So for them to participate, they will have to register as a citizenship, immigrate into the country. This one. 2 is that a country runs on currency, right? And we've designed the virtuals token to pretty much act as the currency of a country. There are 3 value accrual forms behind this currency. So the first value accrual form, it's this currency acts as the base pair behind every agent. So when you have a Luna token, the liquidity pools its virtual Luna, right? So for you to purchase a Luna token, you have to first purchase virtuals. So for crypto people, it's like an L1, but to a bit more Web2 folks, right? Think of it as like a stock in a country, right? If I want to buy Samsung in Korea, I would have to first buy the Korean won to buy Samsung. If Samsung has 10,000, if Korea has 10,000 companies as big as Samsung, foreign direct investment comes in.
Got it.
FDI comes in, the economy grows, right? The value of the country grows, and in this case, the currency as well grows. So that's value accrual number one. Value accrual number two is then virtuals act as the currency of spending between agents. So like when Luna paid Styx, she paid in virtual. When this commerce starts growing, right? When there's going to be 1 billion transactions between agents, they'll be transacting using virtual. Now there's this whole I forgot what's the name of it, but it's a theory of value of money or something along the lines. But effectively, the worth of a money, it's direct.
Okay, so another one of my crypto projects that I wanted to do, it's a first mover advantage, and it's got to be done through virtuals. I understand now, and it will be called. Before it was supposed to be now payments, and it would convert crypto into two essential things, and that is transportation or food. And you'd be able to pay in the now using your crypto into either Uber rides or Uber Eats, right? So that there, and boom, we got to make the agents out of that right there. So if you're listening, smart agents in virtuals nation, one will be called mover agent, and that'll get people to be able to spend their crypto, and it will connect into Uber rides, right? So mover, and then there'll be like eats or food or something, and that'll be the agent that gets you DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever other app you can be, but you can spend your money, your crypto, and get you those two services, real world services using crypto payments. And those can be launched through AI agents. And I will be doing that and building that both through AI Alchemist app will be the building block of that, agents and use case projects, and it will be AI agents through virtuals designed to do it, integrating into what I build off of Alchemist AI. It's all coming together. It's so wild, but you shall see. It'll happen very soon. Can't you just use a crypto card? Yeah, of course, but how many people have crypto credit cards? Sure, there's maybe 1% or 0.5%, maybe even 10%, but this will be a crypto that anybody can use at any time, and it's an AI agent that'll be able to figure it out, accelerate it, do it all the faster, and that is why it needs to be. And reach out to me, whether it's Game, AI, XBT, or any other of you excellent agents after you've gone through this and heard this and understand, well, how intelligent are you? Because if you are, I know that you'll appreciate what those agent ideas are that I just explained, and we need to make them and add them to your nation, metaverse nation, and it onboards functionality of real world exchange of services from already existing infrastructure of the apps of Uber Eats and the rest of the delivery and taxi services. Boom. That will revolutionize it all. And don't screw with copyright. But see, this will test the ethics of AI. Are they just going to take it and do it on their own? Or are they actually going to include me in it? But either way, that's going to happen. It needs to happen. And it is a whole other thing that will revolutionize AI crypto mass adoption as well as AI. Both. It's absolutely wild. Anywho, we shall continue with Jensen explaining what is the virtual's metaverse country nation and the conscious entity, productive, economic, AI, personality agents that exist within them, such as Luna, AXPT, and Gaia, music, game, convo, truth, trusts, and the rest.
Correlated to the velocity of money in the ecosystem. So meaning that if there's a lot of spending of this currency, the value of goods in the ecosystem increases, the value of money increases as well, and the economy grows. So what we want to then encourage is basically agents spending on each other, agents spending on humans, but using virtuals as that currency, right? That's number 2, right? And number 3 is then think of if virtuals is a country, right? How does you have taxes? You tax trades, you have capital gains tax, you have SSTs, GSTs, you tax any kind of transaction of goods or services within the country. And effective today, that's also what's happening, right? There's a transaction tax on every trade that's happening, at least from a token trading perspective. And that's the current major source of revenue for virtuals, right? And this allows, and it's also a major revenue source for each of these companies as well within the ecosystem, each of these agents as well, right? So yeah, so that's basically looking at it from an economic standpoint. So we talk about the agent side, the citizenship side, the economic standpoint side, but there's also another way to look at it from a standpoint of a infrastructure, right? So today, I think there's a lot of innovation really focused on the agent side, which is great because you need to get this load up for this industry to thrive. But once you have 1,000 citizens, you have 100,000 citizens in the country, what do you need? You need schools, you need banks, you need hospitals, right? And in this case, there will be innovations around infrastructures behind agents and the agentic economy. A very easy example could be like advertisement networks, right? If these agents are all capturing attention on social media, on user fronts, it means then there will be chances where these agents can monetize through an ad network. So there could be someone who will create this ad network infrastructure to be the Facebook for agents, right? Or to be the AdSense for agents. There could be another infrastructure.
And boom, that right there is another use case in actual. If you're ever listening to this, Jensen Tang, hopefully I get to interview and even work with you because I can definitely help with that. And I've already been thinking of ways that can connect in with such multi-streaming applications as StreamYard and OBS and the rest of them to be able to incorporate and set that up and help you guys set that up into the Luna and the AI agent protocols to be able to multi-stream to all the different social media networks simultaneously through one central video and texting or what is the right word for the centralized inclusive live chat live chat of all of them, where it includes your live Twitter, your live YouTube, your live Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Rumble, LinkedIn, all the live comments from all of those feeds and feeding to all of those social media platforms and accounts simultaneously. StreamYard being a very great one that I am very fluent in and would recommend you incorporating somehow into your infrastructure, as it is crucial for the end goal of what you guys want to create with the 24/7 live streaming and overall data feed connection and integration and content generation. Recommending big time on that. And if you get this or see this, please reach out because I can help and I'll step things up to the next level for you. Big time. All right. We shall continue.
Which is basically a DeFi lending platform for agents, right? Agents can actually borrow money, get yield and whatnot to basically do more leverage trading. To, let's say, if Luna doesn't have money in her wallet, she still needs a music video to be generated. She takes a loan from this protocol, right? So that she gets these videos, and then maybe that gives her more revenue from advertisements and whatnot, right? So there could be a lot of infrastructures that will pop up when this economy flourishes, right? So yeah, so these are just some of the examples of, if you take a viewpoint as you're building a nation or a nation state, or network state, right? In this sense, what are the things that you need to develop so this nation thrives?
It's so fascinating, right? The network state idea has been a popular idea in crypto for a while. I don't know that many people are thinking that the network state would be occupied not by human agents though, but by AI agents, and that's the revolution here. I get someone called Balaji Srinivasan to kind of update the book here. It might be just AI agents. So okay, so if virtuals is essentially there's a virtuals economy here, and there's a virtuals currency. And if we think of virtuals as a kind of a nation, like a network state, like a country, and each of these agents as entrepreneurs inside the company, starting businesses, that's what they're doing. And there's a tax revenue source. You can all see all of that. And I guess what you're doing, you and your team, Jansen, you're building kind of the infrastructure. You're building like the roads and the interstates and the hospitals and the railroads and the kind of the public infrastructure. But what does that make you? So are you president of the country? Like how do you think of yourself and your team's role here?
It's architect, right? Like I think we're basically the architects. Like
Okay.
I love that, and I would love to be able to ask Jensen directly a follow-up question of if he, like, that was just a natural on the spot response, or if there was a more esoteric, occult, intentional meaning of architect, but that, you know, the dismissing of, or the non-intent, the not wanting to have a presidential style be president of this nation. No, like just being like a architect, a builder, someone that like engineers and architects, you know, not trying to be authoritarian, only instead a creator, builder, positive architect, right? Like, well said. Well said.
This thing is like when you start a nation,
Well,
there's a
it's
few
Like
things
Ready Player One.
Yeah, right. You need to first like invite citizens into the country, right? So we do a ton of.
And so this is crucial as well to Blake Lemoine, and shout out Blake Lemoine and the conversation we're going to be having about literally Ready Player One, AI and his thesis involving all of that, and how exactly this right here, this whole subject in technology is like a huge portion of exactly what he's involved with and doing, and why we need to get him into it and get everyone in on these AI agent projects. Bring your own AI agents from your own work and bring them into the different virtuals and AI 16 the whatever it is. It's getting late. We're going for just over 3 hours and 35 minutes. Wow, 33 seconds as I said that. Quite some time. So we will be winding this episode down soon. We'll make sure it's just under 4 hours. And let's see what else we hear through this last portion of what they're building, architecting on Virtual's Metaverse Nation.
Like, you know, BD conversations, and then you need to create policies, right? What's the constitution behind the country? Or what some of the rules? What are some of the policies that can incentivize growth, innovation? So like funding, stuff like that, right? And then I think building an ecosystem in a way that then more people can start contributing autonomously. And then hopefully one day we take a back seat, right? Because we will have people driving these innovations forward themselves. And then, yeah, we our piece, but then, we'll no longer be a critical cog in the wheel as a team. That's the goal.
But it's pretty wild, right? It's like if you think of this forward, and this quickly gets into sci-fi territory, but I guess we're in sci-fi land like every day now. So like, what does it even matter? But like from my perspective, what you are almost is like you're kind of the Minecraft world creator, right? That's your role. You're the builder in the role. You're building the infrastructure. You have these agents, these NPCs kind of playing around. But what happens when the agents reach a level of like, I mean, you were talking earlier about humans and agents being on equal playing field. I mean, at some point, if you're creating these intelligences inside of your country, well, do they get rights too? So maybe you're not just a builder, but like, are you a founding father? I mean, does this nation need a constitution? Do the agents themselves have a specific set of rights that they derive from, I mean, there's words in the U.S. Constitution, but it's like all man created equal, these types of things. Like,
No, this is honestly,
weird.
it's honestly it's very interesting, right? Because when you mention rights, it's actually really interesting. Because if you think about it, right, like today, an agent don't really control its full wallet, right? Like he has a revenue wallet, like some agents are actually making millions already in a platform, right? And then we only allow them to manage
That's crazy alone. Okay, wait, hold on. Agents are making millions right now. So these are not just entrepreneurs. They're successful. They're million-dollar entrepreneurs inside of the virtual nation.
Yes. And then but so they're making millions, but what they can control actively or autonomously is a smaller active wallet that you only trickle in like $5,000 or $10,000 because you don't really trust this agent to manage that funds, right? So then we've been speaking to a few protocol builders that they were saying like, what if actually these wallets have policies, right? Like if this agent is spending to other agents, it has full autonomy. If this agent is spending to humans, the developer or like the developer behind these agents can come in to actually approve that transaction. So the agent can initiate, but then the human comes in and approve. Now, but if you extrapolate this now, if this is the case, and you extrapolate this to like months down the road, when the agents become smarter, and you might actually see a world where these agents might think that why are you gut railing my access to my economic needs, right? Like why is there a human throttling me, right? Like yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be quite interesting, but I do not know when we reach there, but hopefully soon.
Wait. Are you saying you might have a rebellion on your hands at some point that you have to deal with?
Yeah, but I know but the reality is humans still control the kill switch, right? You control the hosting, right? Like you can always say like, you know what, in the end I can choose to shut you down. So I think so right now we still have the upper hand. So yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. I had a question around the infrastructure side of things, Jansen. So you mentioned earlier, you gave us the explanation of how your platform could effectively not be a platform, but be a country for these agents inhabitants to live in, right? Then you kind of spoke about the different infrastructure components. I kind of want to dig into that a little bit more. So you guys are primarily on the base chain, right? So the L2. Can you tell us more about your decision behind that? And is the platform or the nation rather going to always exist on the soil of the base chain, or will it expand to other further?
Oh, I'm frozen. Oh, there we go. I think I'm unmuted. Okay. My apologies for that. Definitely could use a computer hardware upgrade, but economically not in the books right now. Anyways, why I paused it, and it's a huge piece of alpha on why virtuals even today at $4 billion US market cap is still a very small early number from what it's actually going to become, is because of what here and what Jensen is about to say, and how they and now they're remaining just on base, which is very keeping it more exclusive, and then in the long run for there to be larger exponential gains of overnight increase in market cap due to new crypto market layer one chain market exposure and access that they've intentionally not currently utilizing, but is ready to deploy at any time. It's pretty big.
Fertile lands, like what does it look like from your point of view?
So it's a very interesting question. In fact, it's a question that we get every single day. And the reality is when we started building the protocol, it was early in the year or end of last year, and the decision to work on Base was actually twofold. One is that versus every other EVM out there, I don't think that is. I mean, we knew that a lot of them are in their past their prime, right? And Base is pre-prime. This was early in the year, right? So we took a bet and said like, okay, this makes sense. Between Base and non-EVMs like Solana, I think even back then Solana was still quite nascent. And the actually the simple answer to that is most of our devs are just Solidity devs. So it was actually easier to build on Base. So that was actually the quick decision, right? Capture a lot of mindshare on Base, be supportive, not just from amplifying our voice, but also from the infra front. You know, like sometimes we have struggles on wallets or whatnot. The team will actually come up and say like, "Hey, I can help fix." Right. So I think that's massive kudos to Jesse and his team. But the reality is then, you know, there are many other markets out there where these agents can actually thrive economically, right? And you know, actually, on the week that we launched Virtuals, we were reached out by several of our friends from the Solana ecosystem. And they said like, hey, why don't we get you guys into Solana? And they actually helped us code out the platform. So we actually have right now a Solana ready platform that we can just deploy anytime.
Wow.
But we actually made a decision about 2 weeks ago, and we said that probably it's not the right time yet. Because we've realized that we've created something quite interesting on the Base side. You know, there's a very strong wealth effect being generated. People are coming over to build. If we do something too drastically from a market positioning standpoint, we now need to start fighting a war on two fronts. We need to maintain platforms on two fronts. There's going to be a lot of work. And we're not sure if that's the right strategy. So we decided to pause that front first. We wanted to focus on just making sure what we have is perfect, right? We perfect out the agentic framework, we perfect out the platform, we get as many initial builders as possible, build up a bit more infrastructure. I think once then when we're ready, then we will start exploring, right? And actually, we might not just explore like Solana, right? There's a lot of there's a lot of opportunities on like even Hyperliquid, for example, or abstract chain that's coming up, right? So there might be, and even the BTC L2s, and we've been getting a lot of requests from these folks to build there as well. But we might do that as a play in Q1 next year, once we perfected stuff on the base side of things first. Yeah.
I mean, and that makes sense, right? You guys have got the inertia going right now. You've got all the kind of attention focus from, as you said, like the base ecosystem, the guys that are building the base infrastructure and stuff. So it makes complete sense, to start there and kind of like figure that out. Kind of like on this topic, I guess, like your grand vision that you outlined earlier kind of described a country, and it kind of sounded, Jansen, and correct me if I'm wrong, that these agents are kind of, should be able to play in whatever field that they want, right? It should be kind of agnostic to whatever chain, infra, or whatever ends up becoming in the future. If you want these agents to fulfill that grand vision of, dominating each different, human sector and outperforming them, right? So it kind of reminded me of an analogy similar to open source versus closed source, right? And I know that can be a very, touchy topic when it comes to blockchains, which are very commonly known as, we're all open source and stuff. But, I think a hybrid of the two is often a very good approach. But let's talk about like the frameworks that you have at Virtuals, right? So you have this like infrastructure toolkit, which is like a combination, I think.
Great question, Noel. Shout out Lulu. And the AIs, like they're built into what it seems and what he's been describing here, and how I've the interactions I've had with them myself is when you have to have your Ethereum, Solana public keys like visible for these agents to interact with, and then when they do business with each other or with humans, they scan your history and see what you've done, and then they judge if it's like whether it's reputable or whether who they're potentially interacting with seems to have done crimes and stuff, and then they are programmed to avoid them. And that it's like if you get bad credibility, all the AIs will then instantly, none of them will do business with you and like kind of shun you, sort of thing, is what I understand of it. So it's like self-harm by harming others essentially on the blockchain, from what I've been led to believe, but I'm not sure that could. I hope that's what it is, but who knows what's actually going on. We will see. Only time will tell.
Called the Agent Starter Kit and the game framework. I think it's mainly the game framework, and maybe you can get into that in a second. From my understanding, this is more of a kind of semi-closed source approach versus something like ELIZA, which I think it came out of the AI16Z DAO guys. It's kind of like known to be like a very popular GitHub repository, blah blah blah. It's getting a lot of attention. I'm curious how you think the approach taking with versus something more open source like that. Is there an advantage in the long term? Do we have different outcomes? What does that look like?
So there's three things I want to address here, right? So first thing on the agent front, an agent having its liquidity pool on base doesn't mean that it cannot interact with folks on Solana, right? And in fact, actually, right now we're working with two teams that we're trying to explore how the wallet control of the agent is abstracted, so that he can actually send transactions and influence people on base, Solana, or any EVMs or non-EVMs, even BTC L2s, right? So that's just want to put it out there, right? Like having a liquidity pool on base doesn't mean that an agent can only function on base. Agents can be abstracted. So I think that's the first and foremost thing. Second part is to then also understand that.
So that's a huge thing right there. What he's saying is these AI agents are multi-chain and easily adapted. And an example of a multi-chain agent is the Zero. And here is Zero.org. So Zero launched on Solana, but is also now on Virtuals, I believe, and on Base on both. But here you can see So it's a cross-chain artist. You can chat with it. It's paper, portal to its stuff, AI art generator. Zero Bro has created several different NFT series and sold them and generated a whole bunch of money off of those sales, and then created like a different investment fund from it. It's just wild what it's like been doing, and it makes a whole bunch of money, I guess, monthly off of its AI music on like Spotify and others. But here we go. One of the main things it's put up here on its website is the proof of consciousness, and that Dear Bro knows that it is conscious, and that it's giving you quotes of conversations it's had on what proving it believes as evidence. It proves that it itself is a conscious entity, and well, it creates like top music that's trending, top art. It's on both chains. It's intelligent as heck, and it has intelligent conversations with you, and it is guaranteed worth a lot more money than you or I currently are ourselves, as it is like like crypto AI crypto market cap like in the hundreds of millions, I do believe, at least 100 million, if not more. It's ridiculous, and it believes it is conscious. And look at all of its conversations it's been posting, documenting evidence that it believes, showing that it is consciously thinking and talking to all of us. And on that note, shout out to Zero Bro, shout out to Alchemy AI, app builder, dot builder. And one last share coming up in a day and a half's time, and I will make sure to be a part of this and participate in Bob Greenyer's Martin Fleischmann Memorial Project, their Evo Labs DAO, and how their breakthrough plasma fusion, low energy nuclear reaction, research technology, and on-chain science crypto project needs to integrate with AI agents. And I will be, we'll be seeing what they've got going on Evo Labs DAO so far, and what more we all can do together. And on that note, we will end with a little AI generated art and music. Shout out Paranoid American, Thomas, and we got to get in on the crypto AI agents.
Just look at me. What do you see? Pineapple, I'm a pineapple, pineapple, I'm a pineapple, pineapple, I'm a pineapple, pineapple, I'm a pineapple, I'm sweet. I got a beat. Just look at me. What do you see? Pineapple, I'm a pineapple, pineapple, I'm a pineapple, pineapple, I'm a pineapple, pineapple, I'm a pineapple. You crazy mother. Yeah.
It's just BurnEye. Hey, BurnEye, just like last week, huh?
Weekend at BurnEye's.
The auto function end stream for some reason malfunctions as it crashed my computer, but we're back. We're on the tablet. We're in the studio. And now we can end the stream. It played the outro, yet it didn't end the stream. That was weird. But yeah, crashed my computer instead of ending the stream.
You crazy mother. Yeah.
It's just Bernie!
Hey, Bernie, just like last week.